Hi, everybody. Judy Tuttle here with Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas. Thanks for joining me today. I have some fun Jar of Joy cards to create for you today. And if those of you who have bought the kit ahead of time, start getting your things out and know that this video will be here on Facebook for 30 days, but it'll be on YouTube forever. So if you struggle crafting along with me, you can always watch the replay or always go onto YouTube as well and get your cards done. Okay, today's cards are pretty simple, and I think you're really going to love them. Perfect cards for your Christmas giving, and these are just so sweet. So thanks for joining me. When you pop in, let me know you're here. I'm going to talk about a few announcements of things coming up. I did a wrap up last night of things that are coming up on the horizon, but I have a couple other things I want to talk to you about today, and repeat those because they say you need to hear it 3 times for it to sink in. So let's see what we got here. First of all, only 1 week left on the 2025 to 2027 in color products sale. Only until Sunday, August 31st, can you get all in color 2025 2027 in color products for 15% off. That's just until Sunday. So it's the last week. That is anything that has any of those colors in them, whether it be a kit, a designer series paper, a ink, embellishments, anything that has one of those colors in it is for sale. Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger are the 2025 to 2027 ink colors. So take advantage of that sale if you haven't already. Next, I have a Charming Day simple card class. I'm calling it my Easy Peasy card class. That'll be on Saturday, September 6th in person, or you can also get it to go. What I like about this class, it's 4 simple cards, different than the cards we made from last week, so new cards, and easy for somebody new or someone just learning crafting to put together, but beautiful enough that anybody would love them. You can get it to go. The link to this class will be in the description. And hi, Mary. Thanks for joining me. The link to this class will be up in the description, and it will close this weekend, just so you know. Next, I have the Traditions of Christmas Mega Card Class, Craft Longer in Person, coming up at the end of September. This is that beautiful Traditions of Christmas paper that I showed you yesterday. I'll put a kit together for you to make 10 cards, a half a pack of that gorgeous DSP, a full roll of that ribbon, and a full package of those embellishments. You will need the stamp sets and dies to make the cards as me, but I know some of you out there are demonstrators and can already get it, or there's also a link in the registration where you can get the whole suite, or you can get either of the bundles that you don't have, okay? And I'll put that kit together, get it to you ahead of time, and then you can craft along with me that last full week of September, or come in person, either one. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk to you about is Paper Pumpkin. We're coming upon the September, October, November series of Paper Pumpkins. And what I love about this time of year is that September, October, November, they always have holiday themed Paper Pumpkin kits. So I know that September is going to be about autumn and gratitude, but part of the fun of Paper Pumpkin is we don't always know ahead of time, but you can get a 3-month subscription for Paper Pumpkin on my Tuttle Up page, but I will also put a link to that in the description after this video is over. A great time to get 3 months of Paper Pumpkin coming to your door and knowing that they're going to be holiday related. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, let me know and I'll be happy to help you. But the link to my Paper Pumpkin subscription page will be in the description of this video after the video is over. All right? Okay, who's ready to tuttle up and stamp and make some Jar of Joy cards? Me. So I'm going to go to my hands here and we're going to start creating together. Okay? So what the people got in the mail who ordered it ahead of time is they got a half a pack of the Nests of Winter DSP. And I know that you're thinking that doesn't look very Jar of Joy-ish. Hi, Jan. Hi, Sharon. Thanks for joining me. But we got some great prints on the other side. A birch tree print, a little cherry, I said cherry carbonate, crumb cake print. We won't be using that one with the birds, but we did use this one with the pool party kind of hash mark. Look at that garden green paper and then the snow paper. So all of those go really well with this Jar of Joy kit. So they got a half a pack of that paper. They got a double roll of silver and gold trim. They got the cute peppermints that just go so well with the Jar of Joy. And everything to make 10 cards, 2 each of the 5 cards that we're making. All right, so I'm going to put that aside for just a second and pull out my cards for today. So this is the Jar of Joy stamp set. We've got gingerbread men, we've got snowmen, we have some ornaments, we have some snow, we have some little details and some sentiment. So it's a great set and it coordinates with the Swedish jar punch. Okay, this coordinates. We have another stamp set with the jar, maybe Jar of Love, Jar of, I don't remember. I'm sorry, I should have looked that up before, but there is another stamp set that coordinates with the jar as well. Okay, so our first card is this sweet little gingerbread card right here, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Inside, kept it super simple this time. We have some more, what I want to say, stepped up cards coming later in the week. But these are our 2 most simple ones. So let's start with this one right here. I have a piece of crumb cake cardstock. And I have cut it at 5.5 by 8.5. Scored in the middle at 4 1/4, pretty standard. And I'm going to grab my bone folder here and press that seam very well. Okay, and then I have a piece of real red. Don't you love real red? Oh, especially this time of year, Christmas time. It is the perfect red in my opinion. So I'm going to add this real red cardstock to the top. I've already cut this for you in your kit. And if you guys still want a kit, if you're watching me make this and you're like, gosh, I wish I'd have gotten that one. I still have kits available. You can still order them through the link. You just won't get them in time, obviously, to craft along with me. But this video will be here for 30 days and the YouTube videos will be there forever. So you can still get a kit and still make all of these cards on your own. Okay, I have another piece of crumb cake. This one is 3 3/4 by 5, and I have run it through the Forever Plaid embossing folder. So this is going to go flat right on top of the real red. And I like, so the lines are bumping up. It really wouldn't matter. You could do it either way. So that's going to go right there. Okay. Here is a piece of that garden green stripe. Look what's on the other side, those birds. But we're using this side, which is very Christmassy, right? And it's going to go right here along this edge of the card. And I've cut mine a little long on purpose, but we're going to cut it off. And I want some of that edge of the card, the red, and the embossing folder to show on that left side. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to add some seal to this DSP strip. And I'm going to cut the excess off the bottom here. Okay. Next, I have one of our textured notes dies in basic white, and this one has some slits around the sides. I love that about these dies. And on the bottom of this, I am going to stamp "Wishing you the sweetest Christmas." And I kind of want it on the bottom third here of this rectangle. "Wishing you the sweetest Christmas." So cute, right? All right, now it's time for the jar. So I'm going to grab a scratch piece of basic white here, and I'm going to stamp my jar outline in basic black. It is so cute, Jeanne. I think I love it more since I've been playing with it than I even did when I first saw it. I mean, I knew I would do a class on it because I love Christmas, traditional Christmas especially. Okay, so there's my jar. Now inside my jar, I'm going to stamp my gingerbread men in pecan pie. And I like that the photopolymer. You guys have probably heard we're going to phase out the red rubber. And I've been working with some red rubber here recently. And you know what? I've decided I'm glad about that. It's really red rubber. You can't see through it. It's hard to see where you're stamping. I had to re-stamp things a couple of times. So I think I'm okay with the red rubber going away. Okay, so now I have a detailed stamp that does some outline pieces. Hi, Laura Kemp. Thanks for joining me. And I'm going to stamp it in real red. So I'm going to grab this. Oh, did I just ink? I'm glad I noticed that. I inked that up in pecan pie. Let me pull out my real red here. That's what I get for trying to say hello to people and stamp at the same time. So ADHD. Okay, so clean that off. Let's try that again. I've got my real red here. And I'm just going to stamp inside these details here. And I'm going to have to get, so what I'm trying to do you see this little gingerbread bow tie and buttons? I'm going to try to line those up, and I feel like if you line those up, then everything else gets lined up exactly the way it should be. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Perfect. Okay, so there's my gingerbread jar. I'm going to grab my punch. I know. I just had it in my hand, so I know it has to be right here with me. Oh, I put it on the floor with some things I need tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to grab my punch. Just going to slide this in, get it same size all the way around, and punch out my jar. Now, it also punches out a lid, but I don't need that one because I'm going to punch my lid out of gold. So everybody got a piece of gold foil, and I'm just going to slip it in here, punch out a gold lid. Okay. I am going to put just a tiny little string of glue right here along that edge. And add this gold lid to the top of the jar right there. Okay. I'm going to pop this up right here in the top middle of that rectangle die. Grab my dimensionals, and I always kind of put one where these two connect just to add a little more support to that connection there. And here we go. Thanks. I got those on Amazon, Marianne, and I just found out yesterday, sometimes the fine tip gets clogged and it's easy to unclog with a pin, but after a while, it really is frustrating to try to get unclogged. So what I found is for $6, you can buy 12 extra of those fine tip just lids. I don't have to buy the whole bottle. So I just got some of those, and I think it's going to be very helpful. So I'm tying a loose bow. Now, there was a video out by Stampin' Up about how to tie a loose bow. I think my way is better. I'm going to tell you. I was like, wrap it around this finger 3 times and then loop it here. Okay, all you have to do is make a loop like this, okay? And hold it together with your 2 fingers. Take the back longer piece, wrap it around your finger, and push it into the hole, and you're going to get a perfect bow, okay? Look. Boop. There we go. There's my bow. Perfect, okay? So I'm going to cut the ends off of this on either side and grab a glue dot and add it to the top of, I was trying to see if I had a glue dot package already open. I should, yes, right here. And add a glue dot to the back side of this gold bow and pop it right on top of my jar right there. Okay, how cute is that? I'm going to grab my peppermint embellishments. Trying to do a better job of cleaning up after myself now. I'm just a sloppy crafter. Anybody out there a sloppy crafter like me? I just throw things around. Okay, so we're going to add peppermint here. Now you can add as many peppermints as you want. This is just what I did. Okay, I'm going to put a medium-sized one over here. I'm going to put an itty-bitty one right here at the bottom. And then this whole panel is going to get popped up on this front of this card right here. How cute is that? So cute, right? All right, so some dimensionals. Don't get me wrong, I really like wow Christmas cards, but if you're making a bunch, sometimes it's really nice to make these simpler Christmas cards. This would be great if you're giving somebody some cookies, especially gingerbread cookies or treats at Christmas. Do you guys like to do that? My specialty is homemade caramels. I've been making them for years and years, and people love to receive them. Okay, so there we go. How cute is that? Okay, so now I'm just going to put some on the inside here. So for the inside, I have a piece of that real red again. sometimes I'm lying. I did not put a piece of real red inside. Just basic white is going to go inside here. But before I do that, I have a little strip of that garden green striped DSP, and I'm going to put it right down here at the bottom. Okay. That one just ended on me. I thought I just checked all of them, but okay, so I've got another one handy here. So before I put that down, I'm going to add this green strip to the bottom. And if you wanted to add another sentiment to the inside, you certainly could. For me on this one, we have team, I like a lot of space to write, or team, give me a sentiment so I don't have to write so much. Which one are you? Do you like to write inside your cards a lot, or do you like to just sign your name and call it good? So I always like to write a little note, and so I don't mind not having a sentiment inside because I like the space. But there you go. Super cute, huh? So that is card number 1. What do you guys think of that one? So that is our first card of our craft along. And I'm going to take just a second here. So those of you who bought the craft along kit ahead of time should be able to make 2 of those pretty easily with the products that I gave you in your kit. Okay, so let me put this away. And I'm going to grab my next one, which is a little snowman. I love snowmen. I used to collect snowmen, had them all over my house, and then I transitioned to cars with trees. That seems to be my thing right now. Cars with trees. Okay, so here's our second card that we're going to make today. May your hearts be filled with joy. And you get the little snowman in the jar on a snow hill. We got snow coming down. We got some real red and pool party, which I love together. And then inside it says, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. Okay, so let's get started. I have a piece of that DSP with the falling snow. It's the opposite side of the big birds on the other side. I have a piece of thick white cardstock, a piece of silver for the lid. I have a couple of strips for the sentiment, and I have embossed a piece of white with the Soft Waves embossing folder. Okay, so we're going to use that. Then I have 2 panels of red. One is a little bigger than the other one, just slightly bigger. The larger one is going to go on the front, and the smaller one is going to go on the inside. Okay, with a piece of basic white here. All right, I think that's all I need. Can put this piece of DSP away as well. All right, so let's get started. The larger, let's go ahead and get started with the smaller here. So the inside, let's go ahead and do the inside. So the inside has a piece of basic real red and a piece of basic white, and on the piece of basic white here, I'm going to stamp in real red, wishing you the sweetest Christmas. There we go. And I'm going to take a piece of DSP and I'm going to cut it a little 1/2-inch strip. So this one is 4 inches. I'm going to cut it to 3 1/2. There we go. And this piece is going to go right across the bottom here of my basic white. Okay. There we go. Cut the little excess off. This is going to go to the inside of my card. Okay. It's going to go on this piece of basic, I keep saying it basic red, real red. The real red is 4 by 5 1/4. The basic white is 3 3/4 by 5. It's going to fit right inside that panel. And then this whole panel is going to go to the inside of the card. All right, like that. And we have the inside of our card done. Okay, so I should have taken my bone folder, so I'm going to do it now so I get a really good crease on this edge right here. Okay, now I have a piece of basic red, why do I keep saying that? Real red, that is 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. 4 1/4 by 5 let me say that again. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 is that real red. Okay, so it's going to go on the front of our card right here. And then I've got, and it's a tight fit, so maybe I should use some liquid glue. I use liquid glue when I have really tight fits so that I can have a little wiggle room, right? So what'd you guys do fun this weekend? Jim and I went out and celebrated earning the Alaska incentive trip, and he's had some health issues, as all of you know. I haven't been secretive about that, and he's doing really well. So we went to dinner to a fun restaurant here in Midland called Opal's Table, and just had a delightful time together. Okay, so now I'm going to take the snowfall paper, opposite side of those birds, right? And I'm going to attach it right flat on top of that red. Okay, so I'm not doing a lot of bumping up on this card. Don't get me wrong, I love my dimensionals, but this one, I just wanted it to be simple, but you can always add dimensionals if you want. That's totally your prerogative. Okay, so now I have the same size as my DSP, which is 4 by 5 1/4 of the basic white that I have embossed with the Soft Waves embossing folder. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find one of these waves right here, and I can go either way I want. Maybe I'll do this one right here, this soft wave, and I'm just going to cut along one of those wave lines here. And then for my second card, if I were doing two, I would use the other side of my embossed panel. I would use this side for the other side of my card. Okay, so this is going to get attached right here to the bottom of my card, so it looks like snow. Hi, Becky. I think you got the craft along, didn't you? If you haven't gotten it in the mail yet, it should be there soon, but this is such a fun set, and I hope you enjoy crafting along with me. Okay, so my snow, which is really my soft waves embossing folder, is going to go right here to the bottom. Boop. Right like that. Cute. Doesn't that look like a cute little snowfall? Okay. Hi, Lisa. Thanks. I'm glad you love it. I love it too. I love it too. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my scrap of basic white, and I am going to stamp my jar again in basic black. And I'm also going to stamp my snowman in basic black as well. So here's my basic black jar. Here's my snowman. I just love this snowman. So, so cute. I'm going to stamp him to the inside of my jar right here. My scarf. And I'm going to stamp it in real red. And not only is this the scarf, but it's also the little band on his hat right here. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in just a touch for you guys. There we go. So I'm going to grab some real red, and the stamp has the top of the hat and the scarf on it. I really like the way they designed that. So I'm going to stamp. I found if I line up my hat, the scarf will likely be in the right place. So let's see this. Pretty good, right? Super cute. And then I have some snowfall that I'm going to add to the inside. They have little dots they give you to look like snow. And it's going to get stamped around our snowman here on the inside of our jar. There we go. And they kind of designed it so his hands won't be in the way, which I like. Maybe a little, no, I'm going to leave it be, right? Okay, now I did one thing that is totally optional, totally up to you, but I took my Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella. Who loves Wink of Stella? Me. Okay. And just added a little Wink of Stella to the snow at the bottom into our snowman here to just give him a little glimmer. And you know what? I just realized one more thing I did is I grabbed my pumpkin pie blend for his little nose right here. There we go. So cute, right? All right, so I'm going to grab my punch. You could use a marker for that as well. You might as well use them while we have them, right? I'm going to grab my punch and punch out our little snowman. Whoop. There we go. So cute. This time I'm doing the lid in silver, and you guys should have gotten a piece of silver in your Craft-A-Long kit as well. Here I am. There we go. I'm going to do just what I did last time. I'm just going to put a little strip of glue right here on the edge of my lid and attach my silver lid. And then this is going to get popped up right over here on this side of my card. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to the bag. Thanks, Lisa. I'm glad you love it. I love it too. I think they just make me happy. These jars of joy give me a lot of joy, right? Maybe that's why they call them that. So I'm adding dimensionals to the back of my jar, and I am going to pop it up a little more to the left than to the right here. Right there. So cute, right? Okay, I'm going to grab my silver ribbon this time. Let's make a loop bow again. So make a loop, short end in the front, loop around your finger, and push it into the hole where your thumb is. And we have a good little bow there. Did you hear my sound effect? Whoop! That makes it come out more perfectly. Not really, but it's fun to do that. Okay. When I was a math teacher, every time I draw a line, I'd go swoop, swoop. Probably really annoyed some of my students, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to tuck this bow kind of right underneath this left bottom of the jar, right like that. So I'm going to grab my glue dots again. And I'm going to use my scissors to kind of lift this up a little. And we're going to tuck it under. Maybe I'll use my fingernail. Here we go. Right like that. Fluff that bow up just a little bit. Okay. Now, really only one more thing to, well, two more things to do. Two more steps. I have a piece, half-inch piece. Yum, Marianne. Do you do those Christmas pecans with the cinnamon and brown sugar on them? Man, I love those. I could eat those all the day long. I tell you what, I will trade you some caramels for some pecans. I would love that. Okay. So I have Real Red here. And I'm going to stamp, may your heart be filled with joy. And let's see how good I can do this on this little strip right here. Okay, let me remember which side I banner cut. Okay, so I'm going to do a little closer to the right than the left. May your heart be filled with joy. And then I'm going to banner cut this end. So to banner cut, I'm going to go up the middle and then from the edges to the center, right like that. And then this is going to get popped up right here on the front of this card. You know what? Is that May okay, or should I restamp it? Let's see here. See if you can see it. What would you do? I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I can see the hoops at the top, but it looked like I cut it a little bit short, but I think it's fine. You know, that's what makes homemade cards special, right? If you want a perfect card, go to Hallmark. If you want something made with a heart that may have some slight imperfections, make a stamped card. People love them no matter what. Okay, so this is going to get popped up right here across the top as a banner. And then all I need to do, y'all, is add some peppermints, these cute little peppermints. So these peppermints sold out like 11 times last year. I'm not kidding. People were always like, where are the peppermints? So I'm glad I got a nice little stash of peppermints this year. I should have enough to last me the Christmas season with the cards I'm making. There we go. I'm just sprinkling them on kind of wherever I want. People are like, how do you gauge where to put them? This is my rule. I always use odd numbers, and I like them to be different heights on the card, right? So here we go. How cute is that? Do you guys love it? So here were our cards for today. Tomorrow, if you're crafting along with me, I will be back with 2 more cards. The next 2 that are in your PDF, I will be making here tomorrow. I will put all the links. If you still want to get this class, you can. I'll put all the links to this class, the September Craft Along, and the Easy Peasy Floral Charm class up in the description of this video after we're done here. So let me move this back to my face. Thanks, Marianne. I love them too. Not brown sugar, but they're good. I'd love. Oh, let's trade. Let's do a little Christmas treat trade, Marianne. I love that idea. I ship my caramels out to a lot of friends all over the United States, so I can easily get them to you. So, God bless everybody. Have a beautiful day. Think about who you can cheer up with a card, and oh, how fun would these be to give out at Christmas time? So adorable. So, God bless. I'll see you back here tomorrow at about noontime as well, and then Wednesday at around the same time. So, see you soon. Bye bye.